Hi, I'm Amy Weyburn. Welcome to Inside Real Country Music. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, leave your thumbs up, and leave your comments. 10 things only real Conway Twitty fans know. 1. His real name wasn't really Conway. Conway Twitty was born in Mississippi on September 1st, 1933, as Harold Lloyd Jenkins. He was named after the silent film actor Harold Lloyd by his great-uncle. 2. He used to have his own radio show as a kid. Conway got his first start in music at an early age. When he was 12 years old, he was invited to have his own radio show on local station KFFA radio. After being taught how to play the guitar by his grandfather and a neighborhood blues singer, the radio show became the perfect outlet for Twitty to develop his talents. 3. He once recorded Hello Darling in Russian. Hello Darling is one of the best Conway Twitty songs, and it is totally legendary. He recorded the song in Russian and was commissioned for the Apollo Soyuz test project, the first joint space flight between the US and the Soviet Union. In 1975, the recording was played by the American astronauts on board the Apollo module to Russian cosmonauts flying in Soyuz 19. The Russian version was meant to be seen as a gesture of peace and goodwill toward the Russians after years of strained relations. That song was played in Russian all around the world. I don't know how many millions of people heard it. The only time anything like that had ever happened. It was a tremendous experience, Twitty said. 4. Some of his songs were banned from radio stations. When Conway Twitty released his song, You've Never Been This Far Before, in 1973, some radio stations refused to play it. Several radio stations banned the song after they received feedback from outraged listeners. Even then, the song still went on to become a #1 hit. 5. He was part of the inspiration for the titular character in the Broadway musical Bye Bye Birdie. Conrad Birdie, the super sexy 50s star who turned a small town on its head into musical, was a combination of Conway Twitty and Elvis Presley. The rock star character's name, Conrad Birdie, is even a wordplay of Conway's name. 6. He was baseball player too. Conway Twitty received an offer from Philadelphia Phillies after high school, but he was drafted before he could even sign the contract. Though that doesn't mean he stopped loving baseball. He was one of the investors in the Nashville Sounds, Nashville's minor league baseball team, and would host celebrity softball games for charity. 7. He was like a brother to Loretta Lynn. Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn were one of the most famous musical pairs in country music history. The two recorded 10 studio albums together and have several hits like After the Fire's Gone, Lead Me On, and so much more. Recently, Lynn turned to Instagram to pay tribute to Twitty, remembering him on the anniversary of his death this year. He was one of the best men I have ever known. Lynn wrote along with a slideshow of photos. She added, "He was like a brother to me, and I couldn't have asked for a better singing partner." 8. He owned a big tourist attraction called Twitty City. The legendary country opened the country music entertainment complex Twitty City in the early 80s, which can be found in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The Twitty City was a beloved tourist attraction until it closed in 1994. 9. Hendersonville City has named a road in his honor. It's been more than a quarter of a century since Conway Twitty called Hendersonville home, and those who remember the impact of the country legend on the city hope to honor his legacy by naming a road after him, the Conway Twitty Lane. There's no more fitting place to honor Conway, because if he wasn't at home or on the road, he was at the park, Hendersonville Alderman Scott Sprouse said. 10. He's a Hall of Famer twice. When you're someone who holds the record for being the country singer with the most #1 country song, topping the chart until 2007, he has 55 to be exact, then there's no doubt that you're going to be in a Hall of Fame.